animations are being recycled, and that means that there should be more Pokemon included, and that the graphics are bad, and so why wasn't it on the 3DS? And like, there's all this other stuff wrapped up in it. And I just wonder, like, this sort of backlash, do you think it's just a snowball effect, or are these qualms, having played it, something that you also identify as like, oh yeah, that could have been better? Or like,
I do really think a lot of it was snowball effect. Honestly, there are things in the game that could be better, but you can say that about, I think, every game. There are some flaws in the game that ultimately didn't affect my experience, and I feel like the way they're being presented online are largely out of context or so rare that I didn't even notice it until someone pointed it out.
You liar, you. I'm good at lying.
And I had beaten the game by that point. I made sure to kind of like stay away from all of the leaks and all of the controversies and all of the complaints until after I was done the game and after I had written my first draft. Right. And it got to the point where like I read this Reddit thread and I was texting Jen and I was like, am I being gaslit? Like, am I crazy? Like I didn't experience.
No.
I didn't experience any of these things that these people are complaining about.
I would say a lot of, like, I haven't seen too many of, like, the intensive, like, weirdly in-depth threads on information that was, like, stolen and leaked and cropped and re-uploaded and, like, made fuzzy and put on, like, Imgur and just all this, like, random stuff. I'm gonna base my opinion on Pokemon Sword and Shield based on this random Reddit thread. I think is just, like, a terrible decision to make. Regardless, I would say that for any game. I would even go as far as to say, like, I definitely consume reviews and I like checking out reviews sometimes before or after a game. But in general, like, it's fine if it might shift your opinion slightly or give you maybe a different feeling before going into the game, because I think that's natural. We all, like, that's why we do previews, right? We see things and we say, oh, you know what? I'm looking forward to it, but like this thing gives me concern, or now that I've seen this, I'm not so sure. But for people to make such a definitive claim when they haven't played the game, I think is just an ignorant thing to do. You just blindly following someone's opinion.
Dude, you look in the fucking mirror, you stupid muppet.
And I don't think you should do that in any context, but especially when it's just random, like, clips and pieces that you don't really know how legitimate they are or not. Like me and Casey looking at those things can point out, oh, this seems like this part is kind of accurate, or I experienced this, but I didn't experience this other thing. So, like, without being able to parse that information, you're literally just believing some random thing someone tells you. And I don't think that's ever a good idea to do in life, and, you know, which also applies to video games. So yeah, the TLDR of that is don't just blindly believe things, because that's how terrible things happen in the world.
I think it's a thing.
Yeah,
is like
it's
when
not your job to address conspiracy theories online in a review. Like, it's supposed to be your opinion, your critical analysis of the text that you played. That shouldn't have anything to do with what some random person data mined and took from that. That's not related.
And one of the biggest criticisms I'm getting about my review is like, oh, you didn't talk about any of the problems, the glaring problems that make this game broken. And it's like, I didn't talk about any glaring problems because there aren't any glaring problems.
Right.
Any other items hidden here before we, Oh, shit! There's fish type in the lake! Really?
You